The village of Oakhaven wasn't like other villages. It wasn't nestled beside a happy river or surrounded by fields of golden wheat. Oakhaven was tucked into a shadowy valley where the trees grew tall and twisted, and the air always felt a little bit cold. The villagers weren't sad, exactly, but they were quiet. They didn't laugh much, and they never sang. This wasn't because they were unhappy, but because of the curse. Long, long ago, a greedy sorcerer named Malcor had tried to steal a magical gem, the Sunstone, which kept the entire kingdom of Eldoria bright and warm. The Sunstone was protected by the village elders of Oakhaven, who were known for their wisdom, but not their battles. When the elders refused to give him the gem, Malcor, in his anger, had cast a curse upon the village. The curse stole their colors and their joys, making them forever gray in a world that was still bright. Zuri was different. She was a young girl with a fire in her eyes, like a spark in the gray. She lived with her grandmother, Amina, who was one of the few elders who remembered a time before the curse. Amina was old and her voice was raspy, but when she spoke about the colors, the music, and the laughter that was lost, Zuri listened with her heart. Zuri couldn't understand why everyone accepted the curse. She looked at the gray sky, the gray leaves, the gray houses, and it made her stomach ache. "Grandma," she said one day, while helping Amina sort through some old, dusty herbs, "why don't we try to break the curse? Why do we just live with it?" Amina sighed, a sound like the wind through dry leaves. "The curse is old, Zuri, very old. The elders have tried everything. We have prayed, we have offered gifts, we have even tried to find Malcor's lair. But it is no use. The curse is too strong." Zuri shook her head. "But we haven't tried everything, have we? Maybe we just haven't tried the right thing." That night, Zuri couldn't sleep. She thought about the stories Amina told her, stories of a time when Oakhaven was full of light, when the villagers danced and smiled. An idea began to grow in her mind, an unusual and slightly bonkers one. The next day, Zuri told Amina her plan. "Grandma, you said the curse took away our colors, right? But what if we brought them back? What if we painted Oakhaven again?" Amina stared at her. She had never thought of that. It was so simple, yet bold. "Paint the village? Zuri, where will we find colors? Everything here is gray." "We will make them," Zuri declared, a determined glint in her eyes. "We'll use berries and flowers and soil. We'll find the colors that Malcor stole." Amina, though skeptical, was moved by Zuri's spirit. She had always admired Zuri's bravery. "All right," she agreed, "but it will take a lot of work." So began their secret. Every day, when the other villagers were busy with their gray tasks, Zuri and Amina would sneak into the forest. Zuri gathered berries of all kinds, mashing them with stones to make reds, purples, and blues. Amina, using her knowledge of plants, found roots that made yellows and oranges, and special gray mud that could be turned into a rich brown. They mixed these natural ingredients with water, creating paints from the very earth beneath their feet. Slowly, carefully, they started to paint Oakhaven. First, they painted small flowers on the walls of Amina's cottage, small bursts of color in the gray world. Then they tackled the path, drawing little colorful pebbles and leaves. The other villagers noticed, of course. They watched Zuri and Amina with curious eyes, often shaking their heads. To them, it was a waste of time, a foolish thing to do. Why try to bring back what was lost? But Zuri didn't give up. She painted with a passion, with a belief that was as strong as Malcor's curse was old. As the weeks went by, the painting grew, slowly transforming Oakhaven. It wasn't just the houses or the paths. Zuri painted the trees too, carefully drawing green leaves onto the bark. She painted the sky, adding swirls of blue and white above the gray. It was an act of defiance, of hope. One morning, something extraordinary happened. As Zuri was painting a bright yellow sun onto the wall of the village square, a tiny bird, a robin with a bright red breast, landed on the branch she was painting. The bird chirped and then flew away. And then another came, a bluebird, showing its brilliant blue feathers. Animals who had disappeared long ago were now returning, drawn to the colors. The villagers, who were used to a quiet world, suddenly heard the sound of birdsong. They stared in disbelief. A little boy with wide eyes pointed at a butterfly fluttering near them. "Mommy, look, it's a butterfly. I've never seen one." Amina and Zuri exchanged a look. It was working. The colors were not just paint, they were drawing back the life that had been stolen. The news spread beyond Oakhaven. People from the surrounding kingdoms came to see the village that was slowly becoming colorful again. They brought with them stories of a strange shift in the kingdom's light. The sun felt just that bit warmer, and the elders of the surrounding kingdom noticed it as well. They sent a message to Oakhaven, begging to understand what was happening. It was during this commotion that an old traveler came to the village. He had traveled the length and breadth of Eldoria, and the moment his eyes fell upon Zuri, he was stunned. "She is the one mentioned in the ancient tales. The one who will break the curse," he said. Zuri was brought before the village and the elders of the kingdom, and the traveler explained what he knew. The curse of Malkor was not intended to take color, but to remove belief. He stole the belief in hope and the beauty of the world. "And you, young one, have returned it," he said, looking at Zuri. "Your colors are a symbol. They are proof that hope has not been lost," he told her. "The curse is tied to the Sunstone. The Sunstone was not just a source of warmth, but it was a vessel of faith. When Malkor tried to steal it, his greed turned it dark with his lack of trust. Only belief has the power to bring color back, not just to the village, but across the kingdom." Zuri understood. The curse was tied to the Sunstone, but the Sunstone was not in Malkor's lair. It was in the heart of Oakhaven. She turned to the villagers. "You are the Sunstone. Your belief in the future, your acceptance of each other, your faith in the coming day is what gives power to the kingdom. Malkor's curse made you forget that you were the magic. Now we know. We must live with it and believe in it," she declared. As her words settled in the hearts of the villagers, the Sunstone, trapped in grief, began to shine once more. The colors of Oakhaven grew brighter, the trees stood taller, and the villagers found their laughter, dances, and songs again. The rest of Eldoria, once dull, sprung to life once more. The curse wasn't broken by some grand magic spell or a heroic battle. It was broken by the simple act of believing, by one girl's conviction that even the darkest gray could be filled with color. Zuri didn't know it that day, but her belief in hope helped an entire kingdom and proved that even the simplest of acts can be the most courageous.